It might sound a bit backwards, but cleaning your home doesn't always have to start with a mop or a big deep cleaning session. In Japan, many people manage to keep their homes tidy and organized without giving up an entire weekend to do it. I used to think the only way to have a neat house was to sacrifice every Sunday. But after trying a few small Japanese habits, simple things like resetting the entryway or using a chopstick wrapped in a cloth to clean tight spots in the kitchen, I realized just a few minutes a day can make a big difference. These habits don't cost anything. You don't need to buy new tools, and most importantly, they help you keep things in order without constantly feeling like you're starting over. In this video, I'm sharing 8 Japanese-inspired habits that I've tried myself and that really work. Each habit is quick, doable, and light enough to stick with even on busy or exhausting days. Let's start with the first one. The first habit I want to share is really simple. Keep the area by your front door clean and clear. That's it. And honestly, I didn't think it mattered much until I actually paid attention to it. For the longest time, our entryway was just where stuff landed. Shoes, bags, boxes, mail, it all kind of collected there. I got used to stepping over things without noticing. But every time I walked in, I felt tense. Like the mess was greeting me before I even took off my shoes. Then I learned about the genkan in Japanese homes, their entryway. It's not just a place to take off shoes. It's treated as this small but meaningful space that separates the outside from the inside. It's always clean, always intentional. And it's the first thing you see when you come home. That idea really stuck with me. So I started small. I moved out the extra shoes, put a tray by the door for keys and mail, and gave the floor a quick wipe each night. Just a couple of minutes, nothing complicated. And what I noticed wasn't dramatic, but it was steady. I stopped feeling overwhelmed the second I walked in. That little space felt calmer. The rest of the house felt more manageable just because I wasn't being hit with clutter the moment I opened the door. In Japanese culture, cleaning isn't just about tidying up. It's about caring for your space, and in a way for yourself too. Starting with the entryway made that feel real. It's like giving your brain a quiet signal. You're home now. You can breathe. So, if you don't know where to start here. This is the first thing you see when you get home. And if this space feels good, your whole home starts to feel a little easier. And that's really the point. When small things are in place, the rest of your day flows better. In the next video, we'll look at the quiet daily habits that help you keep things running smoothly at home without feeling like you're constantly catching up. But for now, let's keep going with the next habit in this video. This second habit comes from something I noticed in Japanese homes. They don't treat cleaning as a chore. They treat it as part of their daily life, almost like a quiet ritual. And honestly, that made me think. Because for a long time, I only cleaned when I had to. Something was dirty, the mess built up, I got frustrated, and then I'd spend hours trying to fix it. It always felt like work. Like I was cleaning because I didn't have a choice. But in Japan, many people clean even when things don't look messy. They wipe surfaces, sweep a little, put things back where they belong, not because something is wrong, but because it's part of how they move through the day. Just like you wash your face or make your bed. It's not dramatic. It's just part of life. I decided to try that, and I started small. After breakfast, I'd wipe the table. Not because it was dirty, but just to mark the end of the meal. After dinner, I'd fold the blanket on the couch, turn off the lights, and check that the living room was in order. Those little steps became a signal to my brain. Okay, the day is winding down. The point isn't to make the house perfect. It's just to build little habits that help you feel like your home is cared for. You're not saving all the cleaning for later. You're doing small things now in the moment. That's what makes it a ritual. Not a big job, not something on a to-do list, just something you do as part of your day. No stress, no pressure. It becomes automatic, like rinsing your cup after coffee or straightening your shoes at the door. And when you do these little things every day, your home doesn't fall apart as easily. It stays more manageable. You're not always catching up because nothing ever gets too out of hand. So don't wait for things to get messy. Pick 1 or 2 simple actions that you do every day around the same time. Wipe the sink after brushing your teeth. Straighten the sofa before you go to bed. Something small, something easy. It's not about having a clean house all the time, it's about building a rhythm that makes your space feel lived in and looked after. Let's move on to the number 3. This next habit might not sound exciting, but once I started doing it, I was hooked. Use small tools like chopsticks, cotton swabs, or a soft cloth to clean the little areas that usually get ignored. Here's how this started for me. I was wiping down the kitchen like I normally do, counter, stove, sink, the usual. It all looked clean. But then I reached for the dish soap and I noticed something. The base of the bottle was sticky. And under it, dust crumbs and a ring of gunk I hadn't noticed in weeks. That's when it hit me. There are so many small spots in the house that I never clean simply because they're hard to reach, or I forget they're even there. I remembered seeing how in many Japanese homes people clean with a lot of care, not just big surfaces, but tiny corners too. They use simple tools like chopsticks wrapped with cloth to clean tight areas. It's not about scrubbing everything, it's about paying attention to the details. So I grabbed a chopstick from the drawer, wrapped a piece of paper towel around the end, and carefully cleaned the edges around the sink, the base of the faucet, and the corners near the stove. I didn't expect much, but wow, the amount of grime that came off was honestly a little embarrassing and strangely satisfying. Now I do this all the time. While I'm waiting for the coffee to brew, I'll clean the edge between the stove and the counter. While the kids are brushing their teeth, I'll grab a cotton swab and wipe around the bathroom faucet. It takes 2 minutes, and it makes a real difference, not just in how things look, but in how I feel about the space. You don't need fancy tools. A chopstick and a cloth or even an old toothbrush can get into places a sponge just can't. Behind the knobs on the stove, the crack where the floor meets the baseboards, the track of the sliding door, all those spots that quietly collect dust and grease. And the best part, you don't have to do all of it at once. Just pick one spot when you notice it. Maybe while something's cooking or while you're on the phone. These aren't big cleaning jobs. They're tiny touches that keep your home from getting out of control. I keep a small cloth and an old chopstick in a drawer now, so it's easy to grab when I see something. No pressure, no schedule. Just small moments that help me stay ahead of the mess without feeling like I'm always playing catch-up. This is one of the things I really admire about the Japanese approach to cleaning. It's not about perfection. It's about noticing what's there and quietly taking care of it. The next habit I wanted to share is one I honestly didn't expect to like, but now I use it all the time. Cleaning with natural ingredients you already have in your kitchen. Things like vinegar, baking soda, lemon peels, even leftover tea. Simple stuff that works surprisingly well. I picked up this idea from learning how many Japanese households approach cleaning. They don't rely on strong chemical sprays or fancy products. Most of the time, they use what they already have on hand, and they use it well. It's efficient, gentle, and surprisingly effective. I started with vinegar, just regular white vinegar. I mixed it with water in a spray bottle and used it to wipe down the kitchen counter, the sink, and the stove. It cut through grease better than I expected. And the best part? No strong smell or weird residue. Then I tried baking soda. I sprinkled some in the bathroom sink and scrubbed with a damp cloth. It helped lift stains without scratching anything. It's especially great around the drain and faucet area where grime tends to build up. And one day after making tea, I remembered reading that used tea leaves can help sweep dust. I tried it, scattered the damp leaves lightly on the floor before sweeping, and it worked. The dust didn't fly up like usual, and there was this soft, clean scent afterward. It felt oddly satisfying. Now I save citrus peels too. I boil them in water to freshen the air or toss a few into the trash bin to help with smells. Sometimes I rub a lemon half on cutting boards or the inside of the sink. It helps with grease and smells fresh without being overpowering. None of this is fancy. You don't need to follow recipes or make perfect mixes. I'm not that kind of person either. But having these little tricks on hand makes cleaning feel more doable and more natural. It's something I've really come to appreciate in the Japanese way of cleaning. They use what they already have. It's not just about saving money, it's about keeping things simple and gentle, both for your home and your body. Plus, you don't end up with a cabinet full of half-used cleaning sprays. It feels good to clean with ingredients you can actually recognize. So if you've got vinegar, baking soda, or lemons at home, try using them the next time you wipe something down. Not because it's fancy, but because it works, it's safe, and it's already in your kitchen. Number 5. Here's another habit I picked up from Japanese cleaning routines that's surprisingly useful. Wipe your walls every now and then, especially in places like the kitchen bathroom or entryway. I used to only think about cleaning walls if there was a visible stain. If the wall looked clean, I figured it was clean. But the truth is, walls collect more dirt than we think, especially in areas where there's steam cooking or lots of daily activity. One day, I wiped the wall near our stove, just a small section, and the cloth turned brown. That really shocked me. It didn't look dirty, but there was definitely a layer of grease and dust stuck there. Now I make it a habit to wipe down certain areas every few weeks. I don't do the whole house at once, just one wall here and there. I'll wipe the bathroom walls above the shower where steam builds up. I'll clean the area behind the trash bin. I'll run a damp cloth along the hallway where people tend to touch the wall without thinking. It takes maybe 10 minutes, just warm water and a soft cloth, sometimes a splash of vinegar if it's a greasy area. Nothing complicated. And every time I do it, the space feels cleaner and smells better too, especially in closed-up rooms. In Japanese homes, there's a strong focus on keeping every part of the home clean, not just the floors and surfaces we see all the time, but also the walls, corners, and edges that often get ignored. It's not about being perfect. It's just about staying on top of the places where dirt hides. If you've never wiped your walls before, start small. Try the wall behind the stove, or above the bathroom mirror, or anywhere that feels a little musty. You'll be surprised how much dust and buildup comes off even when everything looks clean. And once you've done it, you don't need to do it often. Just now and then. A few minutes, one wall at a time. It helps keep the air feeling fresh and your home easier to maintain. This next habit isn't exactly about cleaning, but it has a big impact on how your home feels and how easy it is to keep things in order using low multi-purpose furniture that helps you do more with less space. I live in a home that's not huge, and like a lot of people, I don't have extra rooms or wide open floor space. For a long time, that made me feel stuck. I wanted a cozy home, but everything started to feel cramped, especially when we added toys, laundry baskets, or just daily clutter. Then I noticed something while watching videos about Japanese homes. Many of their spaces are small, but they don't feel crowded. Why? Because they often use low furniture that can be moved or used for more than one purpose. So I started paying attention to that and made a few small changes of my own. Instead of a big coffee table that just sat there, I switched to a lightweight low table that could be pushed aside when we needed floor space. It's simple, but it made a huge difference. We could sit around it to eat or work, and when we weren't using it, we had room to stretch, do yoga, or play with the kids. The space felt more open, even though we didn't get rid of anything. I also swapped out a heavy bookshelf for low, wide storage cubes that double as a bench. Now it holds books and toys, and also gives us a spot to sit and put on shoes. One piece of furniture, two functions. In Japanese homes, this kind of thinking is common, especially in small apartments. A cushion can be for sitting napping or used as a tray base. A foldable table might be used for dinner, then tucked away. It's not about living with nothing, it's about making every item earn its space. The big benefit. When your furniture works with you, not against you, the house feels easier to move around in. You don't have to rearrange everything just to clean. You're not constantly tripping over bulky pieces. And when something can be tucked away or used in different ways, you need fewer things overall. This also helps a lot with daily routines. I used to leave laundry on the bed dishes on the table papers all over the desk because everything felt like it belonged to just one job. But once I started using flexible pieces like a table that could be used for both meals and folding laundry, the pressure dropped. The space didn't have to look perfect. It just had to work. You don't need to buy anything new right away. Start by asking, can this item do more than one job? Is there a way to make this space easier to use or easier to clear? Sometimes the answer is just rearranging what you already have. Try moving a chair. Store things in low bins instead of tall towers. Even small changes like that can help a room feel calmer and more open. This is one thing I really admire in the Japanese way of living, how they design their homes to be flexible. Not just stylish, not just minimal, but practical for real life. Especially for homes where space is tight, time is short, and everyone needs the same room for different things. If you've been feeling like your home is too full or hard to manage, try this habit. Make your furniture work for your life, not the other way around. Let's move on to the next one. This habit has probably made the biggest long-term difference for me, and it's not about cleaning more. It's about owning less. Keeping only what you actually use and letting go of the rest. That sounds simple, I know. But it took me a while to really understand what that meant in my own home. I used to think I was just messy. No matter how much I cleaned or organized, things still piled up: papers, bags, clothes, little things I didn't know where to put. I'd tidy everything up, and 2 days later, it was back again. But the truth was, I wasn't messy. I just had too much stuff. Too many things that didn't have a clear place. Too many items I thought I might use one day but never did. That's when I started learning about the idea of living more simply, especially in Japanese culture, where minimalism isn't just about empty rooms. It's about keeping only what supports your life now, not what used to be useful, not what might be useful someday, just what you need today. So I started small, one drawer at a time. I looked at each thing and asked myself, do I use this? Not do I like it? Not was it expensive? Just do I use it? Most of the time the answer was no. I cleared out mugs we never drank from, towels we never reached for, pens that didn't work, cables I couldn't remember the purpose of. And you know what? I didn't miss any of it. And the biggest surprise, once the extra stuff was gone, it became so much easier to clean. There was less to move, less to dust, less to keep up with. The house started staying tidy without me trying so hard. I also noticed it changed the way I shopped. I didn't feel like I had to buy a bunch of containers or baskets to organize the clutter. I didn't need more storage, I just needed less stuff. One thing I really admire about many Japanese homes is how peaceful they feel, not because they're big or perfectly decorated, but because everything has a purpose. Every item is either used often or it's not there. And the goal isn't to live with nothing, it's to live with enough. Enough to cook, enough to feel comfortable, enough to enjoy your space without it feeling like work. If you're feeling overwhelmed by clutter or like you're always cleaning but never catching up, this habit might help more than any spray bottle or checklist. Start with one small area, a shelf, a drawer, a section of your closet. Be honest. Ask yourself what you actually use. Keep what makes your daily life easier and let the rest go. You don't need to do it all in a weekend, just a little at a time. But every item you let go of is one less thing you have to clean, store, or keep track of. And slowly your home starts to feel lighter. The final habit is one I now look forward to, even though it sounds like a big task, doing a seasonal deep clean, what the Japanese call osoji. It means big cleaning, and it's not just about scrubbing the house. It's about giving your home a fresh start a few times a year, especially when the seasons change. At first, the idea felt overwhelming. I thought I don't have time to clean the whole house from top to bottom. But then I realized it doesn't have to be all at once, and it's not about perfection. It's about giving attention to the areas we usually skip during regular routines. The stuff we don't see every day, but still affects how we feel at home. In Japanese culture, osoji is often done at the end of the year to clear out the old and welcome the new. But you can do it anytime, once every season, or even just twice a year. What matters is the intention, pausing to reset your space and let go of buildup, both physical and mental. When I do it, I don't make a big checklist. I just choose 1 or 2 spaces that haven't been touched in a while. Maybe the back of a closet under the bed, the top of the fridge, or the corners behind furniture. I take everything out, wipe it down, and only put back what we still use. No fancy bins or labels, just clarity. Sometimes I go through our pantry and toss expired food, or empty the bathroom cabinet and clean the dusty jars we forget are even there. It's not glamorous, but it feels good. Not because everything looks perfect, but because nothing's hiding anymore. You know what you have and what you don't need. One thing I really like about this habit is that it gives you a clean break without needing to organize constantly. If things feel chaotic, a seasonal deep clean helps you feel like you're starting fresh, not starting over. And you don't have to do it alone. Get the kids to help shake out rugs or wipe down baseboards. Make it a quiet weekend project with music on in the background. Or do it one drawer at a time over a few days. There's no wrong way to do it. The goal isn't to make your home magazine-worthy. It's to make it livable again, to clear out the corners that quietly weigh on you. And that's what Osoji really is, a chance to notice your space again and give it the care it deserves. So if things have been piling up or your home feels like too much, don't wait for the perfect time. Pick one small area and start there. A shelf, a cabinet, a forgotten corner. Let the dust go. Let the old stuff go. And give yourself a fresh place to begin. That's everything for today. 8 simple but powerful habits, inspired by the way many Japanese homes are cared for. From clearing the entryway to using small tools, from wiping the walls to doing a seasonal deep clean. Each habit is about making your space easier to live in, not harder to keep up with. And none of them require perfection, just small, steady care. In the next video, we'll be talking about the everyday habits of smart, capable homemakers, the kind of quiet routines that keep things running without constant stress. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what actually helps. If you've ever felt like you're always behind or never really on top of it, you'll want to hear this. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with someone who might need it, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.